So the way that I'm thinking of it is mostly like, let's say like a modern city. So you think, let's imagine New York. So New York has a pretty strong presence. Like it has an effect on the world. It's pretty important. And so would it be possible to imagine that there's like a battle for principality happening for that city, let's say, right? That there's a battle for the city, and you've got, let's say, Christians praying, and you've got other things going on. And so there's this battle for which principality is going to rule over the way that the city is going to lay itself out. That's what I'm wondering about. Yeah. Yes, sorry?
That's the short answer.
He says yes, that's the short answer. Because
yes.
Because if that's true, like that I basically, if I can think that, then I feel like pretty much very much a large part of reality is going to be solved for me.
Yeah. Well, I think the last time we talked, we briefly touched on panpsychism, I think, for a second. But I think it's even correct to say that they're battling for the soul of the city.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of like St. Gregory of Nyssa, the image that he gives of the angel and the demon, let's say, pulling on each side, and then you as the person, either following your angel or following your demon, and that will direct your soul, like you said. That'll direct your life, and it'll manifest itself in your actions and in everything about you.
Right. And we tend to think of soul as something that just humans have. But that's not the way any ancient or even medieval person thought of it. Yeah. Right. Animals have souls. Everything. All these things have souls. They just have different types of souls. Plants have souls. Right. But you could go beyond that to the idea that a community, right, a town, a polis, right, a unit has a shared life.
Yeah, well, Christ seems to point to that when he talks about judging cities, like when he says, woe to you, it'll be worse for you in the time of judgment than it was for Sodom and Gomorrah. He seems to be treating the city as a being that, that has a life that will be judged as well in the age to come.
Yeah, and this is reflected in Orthodox praxis in some cases. For example, after communism fell, the Russian Federation had a long period of public mourning and repentance for the death of the Tsar and his family, the murder of the Tsar and his family. Almost none of them were alive at the time. Right? The people who were there repenting of this.
But it's almost like there needs to be a kind of, there needs to be a repentance in order to set things right, and to kind of realign the city, you could say, towards the good.
Right. The community's life has to be reoriented, put back in order, right? Justified.
Yeah, and the taint was actually in the geography. Yeah. And this is not, and it's like, you can even see, it's not superstitious. It's like you could actually measure it almost. You could see that the taint of the killing of the Tsar, it manifested itself in the destruction of the churches and the desacralization of the land.